What's going on, guys? JP here, and I told you I was going to be coming at you this week with what I take with me to the bank on a summer steelhead fishing trip. So, I guess for starters, we need to pick out a couple of rods, so stay tuned and we'll get right into that. Well, I know one thing, it's going to be really low and really clear, so first thing I'm going to want to do is pick out a nice long bobber rod. It's fairly light. I'm going to go ahead and go with my 10'6" SI by Llama Glass. Pull that down here real quick. This is going to be my bobber and jig, bobber and bead rod for the day. So I'll pull that down. Again, that's a 9'6", or a 10'6", 6 to 12 Llama Glass SI. And then I'm probably going to be throwing a little bit of hardware. So what I'm going to pick out next is a nice hardware rod. This is a 9'8" Llama Glass Infinity 6 to 15. Just a little bit nicer if you hook a fish in the flats. You can turn them with this thing. Got a little bit more backbone, so that'll be my hardware rod. Do enjoy love throwing spinners and spoons in the flats. And I might pick out one more float rod just to have in the truck, just in case something happens. I'm gonna pick out a Llama Glass red line. Let's find one that's already rigged up with a bead here. Here we go. So got a bobber and jig, bobber and bead, and a hardware blaster. So there's my starting lineup, and we'll go ahead and start looking at the gear that we're going to be taking with us. All right, guys. Well, got my vest loaded up and ready to go, so we'll go ahead and do a little rundown of the things I keep in here and a little bit about them and possibly why. So, number one, front pocket. I keep some BB split shot in there. That's for shotting my bead leaders. Got a couple inline weights, some 1/4 ounces, some 1/8 ounces, since I know I'm going to be fishing pretty low water today. Not going to get anything too big and fancy. And then got a couple swivels in there. Next pocket, we're going to have a box of beads. Oh, imagine that, because I sure do love bead fishing. So got myself a nice assortment of some low watercolors, some smaller presentations, a couple of yarnies just in case I feel like getting a little bit excited on that. Got ourselves a little bit of scent, and that kind of goes hand in hand with the yarnies there. Of course, we're going to have our jig box loaded with some light colors, purples, blacks, of course the nightmares. Got a little bit more color and flash in the back here, just to have. It's nice to have an assortment. And we got that. And we're going to go into the next little pocket here. Some worm jig heads and a couple of twitching jigs. Not many, just a couple in case I feel like twitching up a deep hole or something like that, just to get down a little deeper and see if I can't entice one into biting with that. No. Next, I have my hardware box. So here I got my R&B lures that I build, the R&B spinners, number 5 bodies. And then I got a couple of spoons for swinging in the flats. One thing too, guys, if you can afford it, pick up some of these, the watertight boxes. It'll save you a lot of money from if you end up going in the drink swimming. This will help from your gear getting all wet. This box here, I keep my bobber stops in, so I got some rubber bobber stops. I've got some rope bobber stops, a couple more inline leads just in case. Some stick weight. I usually don't use that a whole lot, but that just kind of stays in there for when I'm bobber dogging. And then I got some small bead assortments with some corkies in there for the top of my clear drift floats. Got some 12-pound and some 8-pound fluorocarbon. And then I believe the number one most forgotten thing that you can keep in a vest that I find extraordinarily important. Bum, 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 bum. Drum roll, please. You'll be surprised. And it's one of my favorite things. Bring some TP or some paper towels in a Ziploc bag. Always keep this in your vest. Nobody likes to hashtag river dump and ruin their favorite fishing shirt because they forgot some toilet paper. So that's probably the most forgotten thing, to be honest with you. I know I forget it a lot. So when you're putting your stuff back in, guys, it's always kind of nice to try and stay organized, remember where everything's at, and makes things easier on the river. I kind of have my own little way of how I put certain things away. Obviously, my bigger boxes go in my bigger pockets, so that makes things nice. And then another nice thing to have on the river is some good snips. These are boomerang snips. Got the nice little retractor on there, and they fold away so you don't cut up anything while you're fishing. And they just retract right back in there. But yeah, guys, so that's what I take most of the time when I am headed to the river and I'm doing a bank fishing trip. Also, you guys, remember to bring a pair of pliers. These got the hole punch on them, so I do keep a little bit of stick lead in the truck, or pencil lead in the truck. I keep a pair of pliers on me as well. That way, in case I got to crimp a hook, unhook a fish, something like that, or punch holes in the pencil lead. And then I do have a couple of worms in here, some 4-inch Mad Rivers that are floating around. Or maybe I took them out. Nope, there they are. So these are 4-inchers. Pretty easy to just cut down to 3.5 inches or something. I wouldn't run too big of a presentation for summer fishing, but yeah. Anyways, hopefully that helps. If you guys got any questions, feel free to shoot me a message or leave a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Other than that, tight lines. We'll see you on the river.